Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Move on to number 8, council chambers, public meeting access, presented by Diana Langley.
Good evening. So, as we all know, in March, the governor issued a state of emergency, which basically shut down business as we know it, including having the council meetings open to the public. And so, fortunately, the numbers improved. So, beginning with the September 1st meeting, we opened the council chambers back up to the public and gave the ability for the public to provide comments in person at the meetings. At the last council meeting, Vice Mayor Boomgarden requested to agendize this item to discuss options to provide even more seating availability for the public to participate in meetings. And then Councilman Shaw also requested to discuss the commissions as well. And Brad addressed 3 of the commissions tonight in terms of noting that their next meetings will be in person in the council chambers. The last couple of Economic Development Commission meetings have been in person with the option for people to participate virtually if necessary. Planning Commission meetings for the most part have been in person as well, with the ability for the public to participate, although there were a couple of conflicts in regard to utilizing the chambers, and so those meetings were held virtually. But the intent is that those are held in public with the ability for the public to participate. So per council's direction, we have options available for you tonight for consideration. One would be for staff to participate remotely in the council meetings. That would then open up additional chairs in the chambers for the public. Another option would be when we have agendas which we expect a lot of public participation, or just in general, move the council meetings to an alternate larger location to allow for more seating. Another option, which do not recommend, would be to not follow social distancing guidelines and allow the council chambers to be filled to maximum capacity. We have noted that when we signed when council adopted a resolution to accept the CARES Act funds, we also stated we would comply with federal and state requirements. So that would be an issue if we were to not follow the guidelines and would potentially put that funding at risk. And then finally, provide more public awareness that in-person attendance at meetings is allowed. It's currently noted on the beginning of the council agenda. Granted, it's in small print and it's strongly encouraging people to participate virtually, but it does give them the option if they would like to participate in person, they can come to the council chambers. And so if council's direction were such, we could make that more prevalent in letting the public know that they have the ability to attend the meetings in person if they feel comfortable doing so. So with that, you're requesting council discuss the options and provide direction to staff.
Thank you, Diana. Anybody have anything? Go ahead, sir.
Through the mayor, thank you for bringing forth the options and the discussion. I'm encouraged by the fact that we have the opportunity, like we did tonight, to entertain the public in the chambers and return to whatever normal is going to be. Specifically, I have a couple things that I just want to bring forward. Number one is, irregardless of what options we choose, I'm strongly advocating that we continue for as long as we can, technology-wise, is to continue to Zoom the meetings so that folks who want to participate and can't do so in person have that option. I think that's been a good byproduct of the COVID situation, is learning how to do things a little better for public inclusion. Number two is, as it relates to staff, I think that if we get to a situation, and obviously if I look around here right now, I've got a few department heads and some other valued staff in the room, but if there was public that needed those seats, then I think it would respectfully ask for the staff consider moving to their own offices or to another location and Zoom in. If they had a presentation, I would appreciate them being able to come in person and do that, and then go back to the office to watch the rest of the meeting. I do have a request, and this goes back to my time as a department head, and that is, for certain reasons, I would hope that we could include a law enforcement presence here. at every meeting. We've had a couple instances where there's been some weirdness out there. It's nice and comforting to see the chief or his designee in the audience should something like that. Hopefully it never does, but it's nice to have them here. And then finally, item 5 on the staff report in regards to, really outreaching to the public to let them know that this city's council chambers is open for business, and we encourage the public to attend and participate in our meetings, because that's what we're here for, is for public participation and to represent them. Thank you.
Good comments. I'm not going to repeat it because I completely agree. Number 3, not an option for me. Here I am starting to repeat it, so I'm not going to. Go ahead. Anything else? All right.
I just
myself.
want to
Go ahead.
support what Vice Mayor,
Yeah, it's all reasonable.
yeah, it's all reasonable, and I do agree that we have presence of, law enforcement here, and make accommodations, and I think all of us have always encouraged our community to be here. So we're trying to find ways to make it happen, so. I support
I'm not even opposed to continuing the virtual option
Right.
even after COVID.
No, I think it's.
And that's fine.
It's looking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good.
I do have an additional
Yes,
comment.
sir. Go ahead.
Um,
You have anything?
I came from a time where it was discouraged that department heads attend the city council meetings. And that was by a previous city manager, certainly not by our interim city manager. And I, as one, value the fact that if something comes up in one of our departments, the subject matter expert or their designee is in the room so that we can talk to them. So if you don't mind relaying that back to the department heads, I have an interest. I don't know if the rest of the council feels that way, but I encourage and welcome the fact that department heads are here. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, and if they're not able to be here presently, they can call in or Zoom or what have you, but, or have a representative or someone, but it does help us, I think, make better decisions when we have some questions that come up in the middle of the meetings. Good idea.
Through the mayor. Yeah, and whatever we decide for us as a council, I think to make it simple, it just passes on down to all of the commissions and such that we have, because they should be following the example that we set. I've made this comment before. We call this the council chambers, but ultimately this is the people's chambers. It's not ours. We're just entrusted with it for right now. So we do need to be as inclusive as we can. And the other comment that I've made over time is, since this started, we learned we have to start standing up our city and go to the people. So absolutely, we need to embrace technology. Ever how that's going to work, I see technology being a part of us forever going forward, so that we can go to the people. I remember first coming to this area, 30 plus years ago, used to be able to watch the council meetings on the local TV channel. It was, was broadcast on, I think it was Channel 5 back then or whatever it was. Now we've got technology that goes out over the internet worldwide, and we need to make sure that we keep that incorporated as part. People can come in. We're all adults. They can figure out families sitting by themselves. I do not want staff policing because that, in the environment we've been, I do not want to put any of our staff at risk, because there's been, altercations during the last 6 months for people saying you're not wearing a mask, you're not doing this. We don't need that. So we just ask people to be very respectful, respect the chambers, come be a part, and let's lead by example. The only thing that I would add, as you talked about the fine print, and it's kind of in the thing, someone please call the Appeal Democrat, because they still list our meeting as virtual and not in person. And I've had several people tell me, why don't you tell us? And that's where they're getting their information. So if we can make sure they know that they have both options, I think that will help.
We can do that.
Thank you.
Very good.
Right.
Basically just a general discussion. Manny, do you have anything? All right. Do we happen to have any public comment on the item?
None that's up here.
All right. Have you received the information are you happy?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank
Am
you.
I happy? No.
As long as you
Regarding what
received
topic?
some more information that you didn't have before you walked up there, we've done our job. That's good.
All right, thank you.
All right. All right. So let's see here. Where are my right here?